Hi. Hi. Good morning. It's still morning. For me at least. Yeah, okay, so hello. Let's start with that. I didn't end up streaming on Saturday. I got really busy, so I could not. So there's that. And then also I haven't uploaded the, what do you call it? The last video I did. I haven't uploaded it to YouTube yet, but it should still be on Twitch because I streamed on Friday. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so hello, we are back with our life beginnings and always. Oh, I didn't do a summary. What did happen last time? Okay, last time was we stepped to, so finishing, so summer as, what are they, 8-year-olds? Oh, I took myself off. I didn't know that my finger hit, oh yeah, okay. Anyways, 8-year-olds ended, they're 13 now and have a new friend. Oh my gosh, I know his name is Derek, but my brain was like, what if it's not? So now I have to check, because what if it's not? What if I just said that confidently and I was incorrect. Okay. Awesome. I was right. His name is Derek. Whose dad works with Coves. Also, Cove's mom is in town for the summer, and the relationship has been bumped up to crush. And I think that's everything important. I think that is everything important. Not everything important, but you know, it's like the quick flash. The relationship between Cove and MC, Ty in my case, has been bumped up to crush. There we go. Okay, there. Now we have a summary. But yeah, so last time, oh, you can't hear the music. Okay, so last time I played, afterwards I did like a deep dive into our life, sort of. I was like, because if you recall, so we got this image, except for this isn't what he's wearing in my game. He's wearing this. See, so it changes the outfit there. But I was like, you know, what does determine what he's wearing? Because like when you go on to the step, it lets you hang on. I'm not starting over. I'm just gonna, so you see there's this Cove customization, character customization thing. Like there's like the options you choose throughout the game does affect, like obviously, like it's based on your options, but it's like, it's so interesting to like see it laid out, because like someone has gone through a bunch of the choices and like, oh, this will lead to him wearing this piece of clothing, this will lead to that piece of clothing, and it's very interesting. And there's also like what will make him like warmer or colder as a person, And so like I was wondering like, oh, could I have like checked what it was beforehand? And look, I could have checked. So like here's, and I don't have to like change anything or feel like I changed anything, because I can just rewind. If you scroll the scrolly thing on the mouse, it rewinds. Okay, so this is his outfit. Oh wait, did I? I think I said it was this one, but it's this one. I thought it was darker. Anyways, oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. The pajamas, and then this is the jacket that will appear at some point that he will be wearing, most likely, if I am accurate. This will really tell me if this is the right like thing that I'm doing here, but like everything else looks right, so I'm pretty sure. And then we can also check the personality, which he's at warm and then sort of sporty, you know. But yeah, so I could like check that out. But yeah, so there's that. For the code customization thing, this is like based on like how you interact and respond to him. Being warm, I don't know what affable means. Affable means? Oh my gosh. I saw that word a lot the other day, but anyways, being warm means he's more sociable, like he's more willing to like go and like talk to, he's still like, you know, he's still an introvert, but he's like more friendly with people in general, if that makes sense. While with this one, he's more like to himself. Yeah, like he'll have his friends, but he won't like branch out. I believe that was what the difference was. And then, you know, studious and sporty, you know, athletics, studious, like nerd. No, I'm kidding. Like my brain is just saying like marine biology, but no, like books, library, you know, studious. You guys know what studious means. You know what studious means. Anyway, so I'm not gonna continue on here because this is just gonna repeat the end of the stuff that we did. So I'm going to, oops. Girl doesn't know what she's doing. I guess I could have clicked the load button instead, but don't click the load button now. Okay, so we're on load. Here we are, gonna go to some of these step 2 moments. It's really funny because when I think about it, things that I do remember are more likely to be the DLC. Because, you know, like I said, I've seen someone stream the game before. But I'm like, when I'm thinking about things, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like in my head like, oh, okay, I remember this one that's coming up. And then I look at the list and I'm like, oh wait, that one was birthday. I'm not going to do that one. I don't have the DLC. Maybe one day, but not today or this playthrough exactly. Obviously this is the Derek DLC that I also don't have, but one day. I'm enjoying this game. There's a lot of work put into this game, and it's very, 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 very fun. It's fun to like play the game in the mindset. Also, while I'm here before I officially start, I'm trying to decide if/when, because I know you can. Okay, so if you recall at the beginning of the game, Cliff's dad, Cliff, is like, hey, you want $20 to be my son's friend? And Ty didn't accept the money, but also he didn't say anything about that happening. And I'm unsure where that would stand, because the thing is, you know, like I said, he didn't take the money. He didn't take it. He more so just like, well, that's kind of like an awkward thing to like tell someone, because that's pretty embarrassing. And you know, sure, people don't want to hear that, especially when they're like, are people being forced to hang out with me? But I saw someone mention how like for their character, since they was like no, and they didn't accept the money and that, it's not something they usually ever bring up, because to them their character would have forgotten about it anyway. So I'm thinking about time. I don't think he would have, like, I think that part of it, because I'm trying to figure out when he would tell, because I know there is another chance to tell in this step, and I know where it is. Actually, I do know where it is. That much I do remember. But what was I saying? For Ty, I don't know, because I feel like, you know, on one hand, he didn't accept the money and he didn't befriend him because of that either. But on the other hand, because of the first scene that he didn't tell, and he just, like, he might still feel like he needs to, if that makes sense. Because, like, if it was like because it's technically something that, even though he didn't directly ask, he kind of indirectly asked if it happened, and then Ty didn't tell him, so now it's like actively a secret. But I also know there's like 3 different places you can tell what happened. And I don't know, a lot of people are saying that their favorite one is in step 2. And so I'm like, should I just do it? Because I don't fully know right now. Because he definitely wouldn't have done it when they were like 8. But it's like, well, what about now? Because again, I'm comparing it to in my script, right? In my script where Ty is from, I have a story. There's something he knows about a character that the character doesn't know that he knows. And it's a little bit of sensitive information. And it did maybe lead to his reasoning to initially start talking to the character. Because it's not like anything, you know, he figured that the character would need a little bit of comfort. So he was like, okay, well, let me like try talking to this character a little bit, like looking out for him. But he's more willing to mention it to someone else than to the character. And I say this because this is kind of a spoiler, because this is like I guess in some stories they would do the climax. Like in a normal story, if I do normal structure, that would be the climax, and then it would be only like a few more scenes left, blah, 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 blah. But it actually is like more like halfway. Like it's like the second turning point, I guess, is more what it's like. Turning point number 2. And so it's big and important, but anyways, the point is he doesn't tell the character, but someone was bothering the character and like was saying things that would bring up the thing in their minds, you know, because like that character, okay, character A and character B, Ty is friends with character A and then character B knows them all, but like separately, because character A and character B used to go to school together, but then character B moved, but now they're all in the same place currently. Anyways, character B was being mean to character A and like bringing up stuff that, while he didn't have the information that it would bring up stuff about character A's deal that character A is going through, you know, what he was bringing up still was like a touchy subject. And Ty first just tries to tell him to stop, like, hey, don't do that, like leave him alone. But when that wasn't working, it was like, well, can you just like try to be a little more sensitive, because this but character A had gone away and then come back, so character A hears the last bit and was like, why do you know that? But anyway, the point is, and then he was like, then he told right there, but like he only ended up explaining it because he was asked right there. And I don't know if he would have said anything at any other moment. I don't know that he would have. And that's what I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, maybe if it came back up, like, because it would come up again anyway. If that never happened, you know, things would still be chilling. But I think, well, I don't know. I guess I should just play it by ear. I've just been sitting here talking, trying to logic this out, and I might not even do this moment today. Because I tend to just try to go in the order. Or is it in this moment? It's in one of these two moments. I actually don't know which moment it's in. Because I don't know what these moments are about. I can't tell based on the names. I just vaguely have images that I know what happens, and then... Wow, okay, well, let's start with Wave, and we'll see what ends up happening. Because I know that whichever moment it happens in, it's sort of something the character would bring up themselves. But again, everyone says it's their favorite one. I didn't ask my sister what her favorite one was, but she never did the first one. But I think she said she did do both, the one in step 2 and the one in step 3. Yeah, but it has been years, so I don't know if it's like... Okay, let's go on. We're just gonna do Wave, and I'll figure it out when it gets there, I guess. Maybe I'll do 2 save slots, and we'll see which one it feels better. We'll do it twice and see what happens. Anyways, let's carry on. The family shopping trip had lasted most of the morning, and you still had to unload everything from the trunk before you could enjoy the afternoon. You cradled another bag in your arms as you headed towards your house. It was one of the heavier bags from the grocery store, loaded with fresh apples, ripe tomatoes, and a bunch of... Oh, nope. Loaded with fresh apples, ripe tomatoes, a bunch of carrots, and even half a watermelon. Ma came out the front door and paused just ahead of you.
It's no trouble.
Need any help with that, Tyrone? I can bring it the rest of the way if you want me to. Yes, please. It would be helpful. Yes, please. It was just too heavy. No, I've got it. You were doing fine. No, I've got it. You could just manage to hold it. You get the agreed with a nod of your head. You needed someone else to take it. You didn't say anything. You could finish the job yourself, no problem. Ty's going to continue to carry it. He's going to respond though. Is he doing just fine? Or is he just managing to hold it? That's the question. He's not super athletic or anything. I'm doing just fine. You just managed to hold it. What was all in it again? Apples. A lot of apples can be heavy. Ripe tomatoes, a bunch of carrots, and even a half watermelon. We'll say this one. Yeah, I think we'll say this one because I think more of my characters would be other ones. And that's kind of how sometimes I narrow down my answer. Like, I think, in all honesty, Miles is likely to be this one. Or maybe Miles would be this one. Kia is probably honestly one of these two. Paisley. Sabrina is one of these two. Leilani is funnily probably one of these two. Like, and they're different answers, but and then Ryan is probably this one. So yeah, I'll do this one. Even if it was heavy, you wanted to bring it in yourself. Ma gave you an encouraging grin and rustled her fingers through your black hair. You set the next bag on the counter. Your older sister began to root around inside for the contents with a sigh. That moment when you realize you left your water. All right, it's okay. How much is left? Still a few more bags. With a huff and a puff, Elizabeth continued putting away the groceries, and you retreated out of the kitchen before you could become the target of her bad mood.
Be careful.
You hadn't been looking where you were going and bumped right into Mom, almost stepping on her toes to boot. Sorry. I can give you a pass this time, but be sure to watch where you're going. If you run into the wrong person, you might get your license revoked. She grinned at the bad joke as you continued through the door. Outside, Ma had started organizing what remained and putting back any loose objects that had fallen out during the trip. When you stepped up to the trunk beside her, she took in a big breath of air, her dress gently swaying around in the breeze.
That's a shame.
We had to spend the morning cooped up in that shopping center. It's a beautiful day, don't you think? You tilted your head to the sky, gazing at the clear, blue expanse. Yeah, it is. Days like today are my favorite. It's too hot. I wish it was raining. I like it when it's stormy the best. I was just gonna say, yeah, it is. You closed your eyes and enjoyed the way the sun warmed your face for a few moments before turning back to help Ma with the groceries. Oh, hi, Cove. You noticed Mom wave over at Cove, who had just exited his front door, his surfboard propped up under one arm. Let me see. Surfboard and wetsuit. Where might you be off to on this beautiful day? Cove instantly startled, not having realized your family was also out here. Even though your mom was the one who called out, you were the one he looked at. He tried to settle down again. He jogged across the pavement to properly say hello to you and your parents. It was decidedly awkward since Cove had trouble figuring out how close to stand to you. The addition of his unwieldy surfboard made the whole thing seem even clumsier. Careful with that thing. You'll put someone's eye out. Mom chuckled and got a whispered reproach from Ma for it.
Pam!
Please, go easy on him. Cove winced. Oh. Sorry, Mrs. Jones. Don't mind her, honey. It's a beautiful day for surfing. I haven't been out on the waves in a long time. I'm jealous. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a few good waves before it gets dark. Hi, Cove. He had relaxed a lot when Ma spoke to him, but the rigidity came back as soon as you said something.
Hey.
Cove managed to grin, and it almost felt like you had butterflies in your stomach. Do you want to come hang out there later? You noticed the flush of red on his cheeks, but that might have just been from the heat. Sure, I'll meet you there when we're done. Oh yeah, I could do that. Alright. I can't this time. Ty will probably say, sure, I'll meet you down there when we're done. Because Ty's responsible. Ty's responsible. Cool. When he spoke again, he tried to contain some of the excitement that was clearly ready to burst. It'll be fun. You're not done unloading, right? Can I help?
No.
This is our job. You go enjoy the beach. Ty can catch up as soon as he is finished here. Alright, I'll see you. Yeah, bye for now. I don't know if all these voices are different enough. I know. I'm not a voice actor, but deep down, I am a little bit. Okay. Cove headed on down to the beach with more skip in his step than normal. It was really cute. You smiled softly to yourself at the thought that you'd be joining him soon. He sure seemed to perk up after you agreed to meet him there. I wonder why that could be. Ma. Now who's giving him a hard time, Lonnie? Oh, that's funny. That's funny, because when I play, because her name is Noelani, if I recall correctly. Is it Noelani or Noelani? I don't know if the E is pronounced the E. But it's funny that her nickname is Lonnie, because if I played this as my character, Leilani, her nickname is also Lonnie.
Josh?
It's different. Mom's face broke into an incredulous grin. In what way? I'm being supportive and he can't hear it. Mom full-on laughed that time.
Lonnie.
You're the worst of us when it comes to this, honestly. I keep trying to warn people, but they won't listen. I only want to help. I think it's fair to say he might need it. Meddler, but you have a point. Right? You narrowed your eyes at their teasing, and they simply chuckled conspiratorially before taking more bags from the trunk and heading inside. Once everything had finally been taken in and put away, you got yourself ready to meet Cove at the beach. You had your surfboard in your room that you wanted to take with you. Your family had a surfboard around here somewhere. You weren't sure what you were going to do. He was surfing and you didn't know how. I don't think Ty knows very much how to surf, but I think if his friend likes surfing and his mom likes surfing, he would probably have his own surfboard because he would be like, I should get into surfing. Yeah, I don't think he's very he's a very experienced surfer. But it's kind of like when you want to start a hobby and you get the stuff for it and you try it a little bit, but you just never go back to it. Not because you're not that interested, not because you dislike it, but just because you just didn't get around to going back to it. So I think he does have a surfboard, is what I'm trying to say. I'm going with this one because I think, Alston, the family has a surfboard around here somewhere. I think he would have asked for a surfboard or tried to get a surfboard, and even if he's not, I don't think he's very experienced at surfing though. I just think he does have his own surfboard, and that's what I'm trying to say. You'd been practicing your surfing more and more lately, as it was always ready to go. After grabbing your board and getting everything ready, you headed down to the beach.
Have fun.
Stay safe. I'm in a swivel chair right now, so if my audio is a little weird, I apologize because I keep rocking back and forth, and I don't know if that does anything. Then again, I am wearing my mic, so maybe it's not doing anything. Because in theory, the distance should stay. But I don't know if like the swoop and the swoop change anything. And there's no need for me to explain that, I guess. I just wanted to apologize if my audio is awkward. Because I'm trying to stop myself from swiveling. But I keep doing it. I just keep swiveling. When you arrive at the shore, you are greeted by the crash of waves and the soft calls of seagulls. You took in a lungful of the ocean air and felt your dark brown skin warm in the sun. You noticed a small setup nearby with a towel, some sunscreen, and a bottle of water. It must be Cove's. You spotted Cove himself nearby. He hadn't gone out to sea yet. He was just sitting in the sand at the water's edge, his board propped up beside him. You strolled up beside him. Hey, I'm here.
Hi.
He looked up at you with a smile and quickly hopped to his feet. I was wondering if you were still coming. I wouldn't have missed it. Sorry you had to wait. And stay inside all day? I don't think so. How homebody is Ty? I think Ty doesn't mind going out and about. I don't think he's a homebody, but I don't know if he's really an outdoorsy person either. But like I've said before, Ty kind of gravitates towards saying sorry a lot. Like it's like as I mentioned before, I think like you know how on Tumblr, if you tag something a lot, it comes listed as your featured tag. It's probably like one of his top featured tasks. Yeah. So I guess we'll go with sorry you had to wait. Yeah, we'll go sorry you had to wait. Sorry, sometimes when I'm about to read, my brain just goes blank and I'm like, what am I doing? And like, I was looking at the words and then I wasn't looking at the words. And that's why that pause was so long. I had empty no thoughts. You don't have to say that, it's okay. Then he cast his eyes out towards the waves. Okay, so there's Cove. I'm not that good at surfing. I'm ready to get in there. Want to have a competition? Will you give me some tips? Yeah, Ty is just gonna flat out say that he's not that good at it. Yeah, I think that's the most Ty thing here. Because I don't think he's going to flat out ask for tips in most situations, to be honest. I don't know why. Maybe he would, but like, I think we'll go with this one. Oh, this is one of those questions that affects how studious or sporty he is, isn't it? I don't know. Anyways, I can't curate my options. I don't even know how I would want him to be, but also I'm trying to play as Ty, and yeah. Anyway, over explaining me. You dragged a toe through the sand, feeling silly, but still worried nonetheless. He gave a bit smile and snorted a bit. I'm not either. We're just gonna have fun, right? Yeah. His words made you feel better, and the two of you headed into the water together. You paddled out into the sea where the waves were good. Where the good waves were. Mixing up the words again. The water was cool against your skin.
It's nice.
Not too calm, but nothing crazy. It looks perfect today. He smiled at you, and you couldn't help but smile back. You felt totally content. Until Cove kicked the water a little too hard and inadvertently splashed you. Hey! Sorry! The apology did not come across as especially repentant, as he was practically laughing when he said it. You splashed him back, you let it go. Ty's gonna splash him back. Yeah, Ty, yeah. You laughed, but waited for an opening for revenge. The second he looked away, you kicked back, spraying him. You quickly delved into a splash war. You had no idea who was winning at the point when the ocean decided to throw its weight around and douse you both with a tall wave. Cove laughed, his smile infectious. You couldn't help but join in. Draw? Nah, I totally won. Yeah, I'd say you won. If it said, you said jokingly, then I would have to choose this one for Ty. But since it doesn't, I'll click yeah, because I think he would say this, but like agree that it's draw. Like he would start this and be like, nah, yeah, it's okay, this is Ty. Yeah. You nodded at one another from your boards, bringing the water to a... Nope. What? How did I do that? Bringing the war to a peaceful end. Cove pointed out into the distance. You followed his finger to see some nice-looking waves. Hey, let's get going. You agreed. No doubt there was room for you to do something good. You were ready to have some fun. You started taking on waves. Cove tried out a few tricks, and you got into the rhythm of finding just the right waves. Have you ever thought of what the fish and other ocean animals think we're doing here? Have you?
Not really.
Okay. It seemed that was all he was going to say on the topic. You started to turn away to paddle to the next wave when he spoke again. Oh, that's weird. Cove reached into the water and pulled out something small and brown. Was it a tiny stick? A clothespin? Cove looked at it with disbelief. He blinked slowly. Then he raised the clothespin with the mischievous look in his eye. I guess it's needed. How else would dolphins hang up their flippers? They've got to be stored somehow. That was terrible on any scale. Please don't. You're adorable. I'm not sure that even counts as a pun. I love it. Let's see. I'm trying to think about the puns. Oh man, I gotta remember. I have to remember how Ty feels about puns. Like, Ty's a jokester, but I don't think he was the punny one. I think that was Ryan. It's been a minute. But I'm leaning towards one of these two. But that's possibly this one, mayhaps. But I'm not sure. I can't recall. I don't know. Let's see. Cause Ty thinks he's hilarious. in all actuality, like himself. But it comes harder when I have to remember how he responds to other people's jokes. Okay, wait. I'm trying to really quickly find no, I don't think. No, okay, let me see if I can. I'm sorry. I want to be as accurate as possible, but I don't have all of my okay, I couldn't find pun, and I didn't get anything from searching funny either, which makes it harder. Makes it much harder. All right. When in doubt, you go and you save. When in doubt, oh, I gotta pick something. I gotta pick something to save over. I guess I can save over this one. Because I'm at the point where I've kind of forgotten. I think I was supposed to stick here, wasn't I? Oh, yeah, between these two. These are my files. I gotta just decide and save over things. Okay, but when in doubt, you save, and you mayhaps narrow it down and flip a coin. So I'm going to flip a coin. I kind of have 3 options here, but I'm gonna start with. I'm not sure that counts as a pun. And see if the coin agrees that I should click on that one. The coin does, but do I want to? See, that's the thing. I guess I can always just go back if I don't like how it comes off. I know. I'm trying to commit to things, but I also gotta tell myself that it's okay to change mine. Oh my gosh, talking is hard. I need a sticker for that. But is it mean? But Ty does consider himself a friend, like a friend. I don't want to quite say bully, but what was it? There was like I was doing a voice practice thing, and I was looking at this list of questions. I think one of the questions was like, "Are you the mom friend?" And like, Ty's like, "No, I'm like the fiend." So, isn't Ty so multifaceted? Okay, let's do this. See, because he could say any of this teasingly. Okay, we'll try this one. I'm sorry, I got stuck on such a simple response. I feel like it's always the simplest ones that I get the most stuck on. I'm always like, I don't know. He giggled shyly and kicked lightly in the water. Okay, I guess the heck stick with it. See how simple the conversation was, and I was sitting here for like 10 minutes going back and forth. You played around for the rest of the afternoon and kept chatting in between the waves. You thought about how you had surfed today. You absolutely rocked it. The waves loved you today. It's pretty good. You're definitely improving. You're okay today. Nothing special. You're reminded there was a reason why you needed to practice. I think we can say that he's improved. It's tempting to be like, yeah, he needs to practice. But I also want to say he's improving. You're pretty good. You're definitely improving. You're reminded there was a reason why you needed to practice. Good. Practice. Where's my coin? Alright, the coin says he did pretty good today and that he's definitely improving. So that's the one we'll choose. A while ago, you would have never been able to ride some of today's waves. You really were learning. If you kept this up, who knew how good you'd be at the end of summer? Cove gave you a lot of encouragement about your performance. What an afternoon. The setting sun was visible on the horizon. Every time you would look away, it had sunk a little lower. The beach was darkening, but still pleasantly warm. You knew you should get out of the water before it was completely dark in the sea. You rode one last wave to get back to the beach. There you picked up your surfboard and gave it a quick once-over. Cove followed behind you to the shore. He put his board with his other things and grabbed his towel to start drying off. As he ruffled his hair with the towel, you watched the sunset together. The colors were beautiful in the distance, and the shadows around you deepened. There was no need for words between you two as you both enjoyed the sight for a moment. Cove broke the silence. The waves are good today, I think. Yeah, totally. I guess. Perfect for surfing. Did you really think so? I feel like perfect for surfing. I think that's I don't know how to explain it. I'm just gonna click on it. Cause like there's words in my head but not forming into sentence. Yep, that was proper sentence. He nodded mildly. You've gotten so good. You couldn't help but smile at the praise. It meant a lot coming from him. You chatted a little more until the conversation truly died out, and all you heard was the rhythmic sound of waves. Then Cove sighed. The day can't be over. Not yet. He scowled into the distance as if the sun exiting the sky was a personal offense. Don't you think it should be longer? Yeah, it felt long enough to me. Only a shrug could express your feelings on that matter. We'll go with yeah. Because I can imagine him shrugging, but I think he would say sure as he does. So I think it's actually more accurate to say yeah. Because like, you know, longer days you can do more stuff. Likes hanging out. You know, hanging out. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Cove stood up straight in defiance of the approaching darkness. I'm not gonna go home yet. I want to go somewhere. I don't know. Cove was still dripping in salt water, so you weren't sure what the alternative was. Wetsuits were fine for the beach and not much else. It wasn't a good idea for him to lug his surfboard around town either. You'll be real cute in that wetsuit wherever you go. Well, I need to call it a night. Yeah, I want to do something too. We'll sure be welcomed anywhere soaking wet like this. See, it's like I said, it's always the simple options. It's always the simple ones. Oh, see, okay, I figured out the difference. This is the Coves on his own options. This is the you'll tag along options. So I guess if I do that, I then gotta look between these two. Because I don't know what they do though. But I don't know. Right, that's what these sound like. This is like that's up to Cove. He'll figure it out. I'm leaving by, and this is the we'll figure something out together options. Yeah, that's what that is. I think I've read it right. I saved already, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I got confused for a second because I was like, all these colors are the same. I guess I didn't save. This is literally the background. Okay. I don't know if it's rude though. See, I told myself I would be less worried about that when I play. But also, I'm not at all less worried about it. So, that's that. And that's that on the matter. Because I don't know if this is a joke. I don't know if this is a joke or a jab. Which I guess, if it's a joke and a jab, then it's very Ty. And that's the problem. See, Ty is a very, 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 I would say he's a good kid. I would say he's a sweet person. But he also, when he's friends with someone, doesn't mind ragging on them because they're friends. And you know. And like, he'll still be like a good friend, but he'll take a couple jabs here and there when he can. But then it raises the question again, what is the vibe? What is the vibe? I don't know. Coin said I should do this one. I just wasn't sure if it's rude. I'll click on it, but I'm not sure if it's rude. I might back out. Depending on, I literally might rewind it depending on how Cove responds to this one. And I'm just going to be very transparent about that. If I feel stressed out, I'm going to switch out to that one. Anyone else like always accidentally right click? Like, there needs to be like a delay on the right click. So it's like, you have to hold it for like 2 seconds or something. Cause I just like tap it. Just tap it and boom. See? Tap. Tap. Sorry. See, when I get stressed out about an option, I think I stall a little bit. I think it's a subconscious thing. Cole finally took note of his current state and laughed. He shrugged. Then looked down at the shore with wide, shining eyes. There's at least one place that's always okay to hang out in, no matter what time it is. The park. You nodded. The park was virtually always empty. Even Elizabeth only went over there nowadays if she was looking for you. Wow, that used to be her area. How times have changed. She used to be so protective of the place. See, I just said that. Look at that. Look at that. In fact, the only person there was a chance of running into might be that Jeremy kid. You brought the idea up to Cove and he cringed, but I'm still going. The sun is still there, a little. I'm staying out as long as it is. Ty's gonna tag along. For more than just hanging out, I feel like Ty's also the kind of person who would want to make sure his friends get home okay. Cause the sun's setting and then it's gonna get late. Like, what time are you going home though? You know, what time are you going home though? So he's gonna tag along. Did I read those? It says you tagged along, you went home. I don't know if I read them, so I just wanted to make sure that I read them. But yeah, I tagged along. Okay, let's go. Cove took a minute to put his stuff in order. He made sure to get it all, though didn't take much care to shake the sand off. You dealt with your own things. You stuffed everything together quickly. You took your time to pack your bag. Ty's very neat, so he's going to take the time to pack his bag. The two of you finished at about the same time. As a final touch, Cove plucked his glasses off the beach and put them back on his face. He looked more like himself now. He led the way down the beach to the park. It wasn't far, so it didn't take you long at all. The sun still hadn't completely disappeared just yet when you made your arrival. Cove stuck his surfboard upright in the sand and tossed his towel over top. By now, the two of you were mostly dry. The summer breeze on your skin kept you pleasantly warm. Cove idly went over to the monkey bars. He grabbed them, feet flat on the ground, and pretended to go across. He had definitely grown in the past few years. You could barely use the monkey bars yourself. There wasn't much space at all. There wasn't much space at all between you and the ground. When he got to a bar in the middle, Cove pulled himself up and through, then sat at the top of the bars. His legs dangled off the side of the bar he perched on. I can read, guys. I can read. I'm putting my reading is hard emote in because I stumbled over so many simple words just now. Okay. You joined him on the monkey bars. You stood nearby. You took a seat on the swings. Okay. I just made a joke to myself. Can Ty even pull himself up there? Who knows? No, Ty would probably want to do that because, okay, so I'm thinking about it like with different characters, right? I think like Miles and Leilani would go sit on the swing set. But I think that for Ty, I think if he chose a place to sit first, he would sit on the swing set. But I know that, like, we can see the picture here. The swings aren't far. But I think Ty would feel awkward talking to someone from that distance. Like, in general. Like, not like, it's not super far, but I feel like he would feel awkward, like, looking up at someone to talk to them. And also, like, having to make sure he's facing the right direction. I don't know which direction. Like, you know, Cove's sitting up there. The swing's over here. He'd have to turn. I think Ty thinks about all these things. So I think he's just going to join on the monkey bars. Sorry, I just saw them more difficult. And it definitely is a little difficult for him. But, you know, I think he can still do it. Without Cove's height advantage, getting up there was more difficult, but you made it. You climbed on the side of the monkey bars and pulled yourself up to the top. You settled yourself in between two of the slats The skinny metal wasn't the most comfortable thing to sit on, though you enjoyed the height it gave you. Guess what? He smiled broadly and raised an eyebrow. He's not here. Right, it was true. There wasn't a single sign of Jeremy. Looks like it was just going to be the two of you tonight. Cove hung his head and groaned dramatically. Your eyes widened when he whipped his head back up.
No way.
I can't believe how dumb my parents are for forcing me to come to this stupid place. You were taken aback, but blinked for a second before you realized he was quoting Jeremy. Ha ha. Or is it actual laughter? I just did ha ha, but is it like, there's not a comma there, so it might be like, yeah, that's probably a better read of it. Don't scare me like that. One Jeremy is enough. That's not really nice. Funny, but not nice. You don't have to tease him. Parents don't know anything. Yeah, I think Ty's gonna join in on the joke. Is it a little mean? Well, yes, but Jeremy said it and was very mean. Ty's friendly, but not everyone's his people. Also, he likes jokes. He likes joking around. So, yeah. Yeah. Me trying to, like, it feels like I'm trying to justify it. I'm trying to just explain. Like, I don't know. I'm talking too much. No, I'm not. Anyway. Cove chuckled back at you, amused. He looked around the old park, the streets you knew like the back of your hand, and the beach. These were your stomping grounds. You wondered how Cove actually felt. How much was his joke just a joke, and how much was sincere dislike of this place. Moving had never been his choice. Do you actually like this neighborhood? I know you don't think it's dumb. You let the silence stretch between you two. Huh. So Ty, I'm trying to figure it out what Ty would say in this situation, or if he would just say nothing. I think, like, I'm trying to figure it out. Cause like, I know I keep starting like I can speak. Words. No, so Ty. Well, I think he can ask questions when they're close. I think, because like the thing is, during the first step, while they were friends, it was also like still a very sensitive point. But it's not like Ty can't ever ask questions or doesn't ever ask questions. Like in my script, for example. Shameless advertising of my story that is not published or made. Anyway, I mean, I have versions of it. Anyways, no. So there's a character that he's close with, who we'll label as character A, because I'm trying to, even though I'm giving a lot of information, I'm trying to keep it as less spoilery as possible. And I think if I just don't say which character it is, it makes it a little bit easier to feel like I'm not spoiling it, even though it'll probably be forgotten in a while, because this is something I'm still editing and rewriting and stuff. but I like forgotten here, like, but as a spoiler. But anyways, so character A is feeling down, we will say, yeah, insecure, I guess is a better word, and like a concern for character A is that their parents won't want them around, in a sense. You know, it's an insecurity some people have, that like your family doesn't like actually like you, or like, well, so far they've just been like around because they've been forced to, you know. And yeah, he does ask like why this character feels that way. You know, he doesn't just like not have the conversation. He engages in the conversation and actually asked to get to that point because character A was being awkward and avoided a call. Getting into more details, but anyways, and then Ty is like, hey, what's up? And you know, yeah, so all in all, I think it's okay to say that he would talk about it. I think he would ask. I don't think Ty is someone who feels like he could fill in things for people. You know, it's like when they saw Lizzie and Cove in front of the house and Cove was crying. He isn't just going to assume. Ty doesn't assume things, I don't think. At least he's yet to. He's yet to assume things besides, you know, that one character that he kept the secret of knowing what the character's hard time was. He didn't assume that the character was having a hard time, but of course, he has more information. I mean, he has some information. He kind of knows the situation. Like, who wouldn't be having a hard time? Though I guess also a little bit of it was just a wee bit of projection, but that's a different story. Anyways, we'll ask, do you actually like this neighborhood? After I spent 20 minutes talking. I don't know what I was saying. I'm sorry. Do you really have to ask that? Cove kicked his legs carelessly as they dangled. He smiled softly. I like it here. I really do. It's a nice place. It's good because also it feels like a follow-up to the conversation they had at the end of summer. He didn't hesitate. There was no uncertainty. That was his genuine opinion. Yeah, I like it too. Well, at least one person likes it here. You nodded wordlessly. Well, of course. I'm here after all. You're the best thing in the neighborhood, Cove. This is actually, well, of course, I'm here after all is a very Ty thing to say, legit, in general. Like, that is one of the ways Ty jokes around. Like, I think I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't click that one. I'm going to save anyway. What was that option? I'll just leave it with that. Yeah, that's fine, because it's between these anyway. That's what I gotta start doing, like thinking like, which option is more, well, like, yeah, it was further away. Yeah, blah. I can words so good. It's probably because I went to bed late and woke up really early. Yeah. Yeah. Cove flushed and started kicking his legs wildly like he was running in place. It didn't take long for the day to finally draw to a close. The sun was gone and it was dark. He chatted a while longer, but it was definitely winding down. We better get home. I wish days were longer. You chose not to say anything. Like I said, Ty's responsible, but he's only semi-responsible, which is probably the part of him coming here. They gotta get home. They also haven't eaten in a long time. Ty's a little bit caretaker. Ty is a bit of a caretaker, but probably more than just a bit. Especially considering that I know that one of my characters who does develop a crush on Ty type is caretaker types. Like literally. But that character is also kind of a caretaker. But that character's goal is to be a stay-at-home parent, so goal in life. Aspiration in life. But anyways, okay. Is he gonna say the responsible thing this time, or is he gonna say the coin says he should, but I think we're gonna do this one. I wish this day was longer. Because I chose that one. I'm sorry, I'm side railing just a second, because I feel like Ty's not always extremely direct. Like, that might be his way of being like, well, I guess the day's over. But like in a way that's not like super direct and is like a connecting way. Yeah. Time to go home, but this was fun type of way. Like, this would be cool if we could hang out longer. You know, that kind of way. I read that, but I'll read it again. I wish this day was longer. His feet kicked out and made him look like a pouty child. Oh well. Cove sighed. It was time to go home. He hopped down from the monkey bars with a thump when his feet hit the ground. You clambered down the monkey bars yourself. You lowered yourself more slowly than Cove and barely made a sound when your feet reached the ground. Cove grabbed his surfboard and threw his towel around his neck. With his water bottle in hand, he was ready. You both began your trek up the road. It was a quiet night, and you didn't run into anyone else. In what felt like no time at all, you had reached your street. As you walked, Cove smiled to himself. It was a soft expression, and you couldn't help but wonder what put it there. Everything okay? I just remember when we were younger, it used to be such a big deal to come home after dark. You could indeed recall. If you got sandy, your parents would have something to say. If you got wet, your parents would have more to say. And if you came home after dark, well, your moms and his dad better have said it was okay beforehand. You used to need permission for everything. That small comment he made exposed just how much freedom you really had this summer. Cove looked up into the sky, a smile on his face as the two of you walked side by side reminiscing. When you came to your houses, you turned to each other. Thanks for today. I'm sorry. Bye. It was funny to me. Bye. It was nice seeing you. This is definitely an interesting experience. Yep. Thanks for the awesome day. Yeah, I'll go with this one. I'm leaning towards it because these ones, well, bye is just so abrupt. Got exclamation points, and I think the older Ty gets, the less he uses exclamation points, if that makes any sense. Like, he's pretty chill. You're learning so much about Ty, and that's why I'm playing as a character of my own. Okay. This one feels very non-committal. which is funny because I did say that that's kind of these ones, the blue tend not always, but tend to be direct. The yellow tend to be reactive, and the green tends to be more, I don't remember what the exact wording was, but it was like non-committal. But anyways, I'm going with this one. It was nice seeing you. I think that's right. 'Cause I think it would be between these two, but I think we're gonna go these two being it was nice seeing you and yep, but I think we're gonna go with it was nice seeing you. And then I'm gonna go look up that thing and see what my answers are doing so far. Not during this when I'm done playing. Cove waved and you both turned around to your respective houses. This was a pleasant end to the outing, you thought. Alright, how long have we been going? Because that was only one moment. I can do another moment. But I want to see. Yeah, it's only been about an hour. So I'll do another one. And we'll see where we get there. Because we're at an hour 20. And, so if that one takes another hour, that'll be like 2:20 maybe. But if I keep stalling like this, I mean, it probably doesn't even take an hour by itself. It probably only took an hour because I keep stalling like this. Anyways, let's go on. Growing. Early one afternoon, you found yourself in the living room with your family. It was another one of those summer days where it felt too hot to go outside, but it was too uncomfortable to do anything inside either. The air conditioner was cranked up as far as you could negotiate it, but everyone was still being pretty lazy. You, your moms, and your sister were lounging around while the TV blared on in the backdrop. You ignored... Oh, nope. Ignored by all of you. You specifically were lying spread eagle on the carpet, sitting cross-legged on the floor, perched on the arm of the couch, draped over the coffee table. Okay, let's see. Ty, it's a hot day. He's not sitting cross-legged. That one we could just cross off. I think he's someone who would sit on the arm of the couch, but I think if he's lounging because it's a hot day, he's not going to be found sitting on the arm of the couch. So that one also gets crossed off for the same reason. But both of those two are the same, but like the same reasoning for whether getting crossed off. Yes, but not in a situation where it's like it's too hot and I'm being lazy. So either draped over the coffee table or laying on the carpet. And see, me personally, I'd be laying on the tile floor because that's where you get the cool. If it's hot, go lay on the tile floor. Heat rises. So if you're sitting there really hot, go as close to the ground as you can get. Anyways, I think he's going to be draped over the coffee table. I was thinking about it, and I think I more see him laying across the coffee table. Like, head, arms on the coffee table. You should listen to me. Get on the floor, Ty. Lay down. That's where it's going to be cooler. The surface had been nice and cool to the touch at first, but now your skin was sticking to it. Elizabeth broke the silence with a loud groan. You glanced over. She was lying on her back over the couch, massaging her calf with one hand.
Ugh.
I feel terrible. I'm dying in this house. My legs hurt. Oh yeah, she has a seashell necklace. Mom looked up from the magazine she'd barely been flipping through and frowned, concerned. Could you have strained them somehow? Elizabeth flailed briefly, then flopped onto her side with a heavy sigh. I don't know, it just hurts.
Sweetie.
Oh, sweetheart. Ma got up from her seat at the kitchen table and walked over to your sister. She did a light pat on Elizabeth's shoulder, sympathetically, She did a light pat on Elizabeth's shoulder sympathetically. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. Maybe it's growing pains. You could be taller by next fall. Elizabeth scoffed. She didn't look impressed by Ma's assessment. It was dinner. I think I remember what family is now. Sorry. That was random, but sometimes my brain works like that, where you say something an hour ago, and then I remember it and have an answer. Anyway, I'd rather be my height forever than deal with this. Mom walked over too, leaning against the back of the couch. Kids, they grow up so fast. Soon, Elizabeth will have a home of her own, maybe even with a nice husband and some kids if she feels like it. She sniffed loudly and wiped her eye, but you could tell that it was just a bit. You tilted your head. Even though you knew Elizabeth liked guys, it was hard to imagine her with a boyfriend or husband. She only seemed interested in hanging out with her group of friends, not chasing after boys. Mom must agree with you because she shook her head.
No.
Let's not exaggerate. She's still practically a child. But if you ever do pursue romance, Elizabeth, you can come talk to me about it. Definitely. We're always here to lend an ear. Nope, that's not what that says. I was like, oh, hey, that rhymed. And then I looked at it again and I was like, that's not what that said. It was the same energy, the same meaning, but I read it wrong, so I guess I will reread it. Definitely. We're always willing to lend an ear. Elizabeth's features contorted in disgust.
No.
No way. I am not talking to my moms about that. Mom's jaw dropped and she gasped in an exaggerated display of shock. Her hand came up to rest against her cheek. Ma only grinned. She didn't look offended by Elizabeth's quick response at all. It really wouldn't be so bad to come to us. I know what it's like to have a crush on a pretty boy or two. I don't, but I can listen anyway. Mom snorted at her own joke, while Ma burst into giggles. They were having a little too much fun at Elizabeth's expense. Elizabeth certainly wasn't feeling the amusement because she rolled her eyes and sat up.
Thanks.
I'm going back to my room. I'd rather mount alone, thanks. She strode off towards the staircase, taking the steps 2 at a time. Your mom stared after her, then turned to each other with raised eyebrows. Whoops. Looks like we scared her off with all that romance talk.
Well?
Oh well, we'll get her next time. You watched them titter with some surprise. Obviously, your moms liked women, but you had no idea that Ma liked guys too. Today was the first time you'd heard her say something like that. Ma, I always thought you only liked ladies. You like guys too? Ma turned to you, happy to bring you into things now that you'd spoken up. She smiled and nodded. That's right, I like both. But I like your mom most of everyone. She's special. Ma's smile turned all soft in the corners, like it usually did when she looked at her. She pinched Mom's cheek lightly. Mom reached up to cup a hand over Ma's. Even when Ma stopped pulling her cheek, their hands remained clasped together.
You're fantastic.
Thanks, Lonnie. I think most women have charm, but no one can hold a candle to you.
Aww.
Pamela? No, Pamela. Ma beamed, then kissed Mom on the cheek she'd been pinching before. You laughed at their antics. You thought the moment was very sweet. You cringed. Your parents were embarrassing. That's a great question. What would Ty do here? Okay, let's break it down. Let's break it down by character. Miles is here. Ryan is also here. Paisley might be here. Sabrina is probably one of these two. Leilani is probably this one. Kia is one of these two. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're laughing. I guess Ty's gonna laugh. Didn't help that much narrow it down, but I found I have a lot of characters on this one, so we will not do this one. I know it was only like 1 or 2 here, but I don't think he would really cringe. Well, no, I think his sister's more likely to. I think he would only cringe if they bring him into it. Like, they tease him the same way they were teasing Elizabeth. But, so I guess if that made sense. If words can mean things. Yep. You chuckled quietly at their little back and forth. They were always saying cutesy stuff like that to each other. Ma looked back at you, letting Mom's hand go with a brief squeeze. She settled down next to you, and Mom followed soon after. You know, I'm also here to listen to you whenever you're ready. That offer isn't just for Elizabeth. In fact, I think that talk might be needed sooner for you. After all, you already have someone, isn't that right? Mom shook her head and elbowed Ma, but it was futile. Meddler. You blushed fiercely. You also elbowed her. Ma, I don't have someone. Yeah, that's true. See, the want to start going into other characters, you know. This is Ryan. Ryan is very, very open about that stuff because Ryan loves love, you know. But Ryan's not here. I think this one or this one would be Miles. One of these two. And then I think Paisley I don't know actually. It's kind of hard because Paisley doesn't have a relationship with her mom because her mom is left, and then her dad's always at work, and then her relationship with her uncle is rocky. So it's hard because, like, you know, some of the way that they respond is just their personality, but the other way is like who the person is, right? And I can base it in part off of like who their parents are, right? Like how they respond to their parents and talk to their parents in my story. Anyways, anybody else to say? I think Ty is an avoider. I don't think he's going to answer. I don't think he's going to answer. So he's definitely not saying either of these two. Because, like, while this is saying no, I don't think he's going. I think he just likes to stay in the limbo. Stay between the answer. Like, especially in the case where like everyone kind of already knows, but like no one's labeled it. So yeah, it's probably one of these two. I think I'll probably go with this one. Okay. Bum 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 badum 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 bum bum badum bum badum 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 ba badum 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 bum 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 ba badum badum badum. Sorry, I was saving real quick because you know me, I gotta do the coin flip. The coin flip. I didn't ask the question properly because this was the only one I could remember it. It said tails, which is either this one or yes. Let me flip a coin again, and it'll be should he elbow his mom? No, so he should shout her name. No, you're an unhelpful coin. You're very unhelpful. Anyways, well, I guess there's that one more option. Yeah, the coin's unhelpful. Okay, we'll just we'll do this. Elbowing is probably fine. I'm trying to think about his relationships with his parents in my story, but it's more prominently about his relationship with his sister, like more of the scenes. But like he has a pretty good relationship with his parents. Anyways, Yeah, I think I'm okay with the option I chose. Yep. Mom only giggled and smiled, not looking the least bit apologetic. There's no rush, of course. You can take all the time you need to figure out what or who you want.
It's okay.
Don't think you have to stick with whatever you come up with right now. Either. Life's nice like that. It can change and you can learn. Mom nodded her agreement. The two of us are happy to hear you out, and we may be able to relate better than you think. Still, we won't push the topic, at least most of the time. She gave Ma the weakest scathing look possible while being unable to stop grinning. Thanks. You nodded silently. You shrugged. You don't have to worry about it. I'd rather pass on all that. I think Ty's either gonna nod or gonna say thanks. Yeah, he could if he got picked on him handling this conversation very well. Well, you know, it's Ty. Ty's chill. For the most part. Anyways, thanks. You nodded silently. Sure, he'll say thanks. I'll think about it.
Wonderful.
Good, that's all we ask for. Mom let out another exaggerated sniffle. It didn't take a genius to realize it was fake. First Elizabeth and now you, Ty? Do you have to grow up? Yes, children tend to do that from time to time. Your parents quickly grew absorbed in their conversation about rearing kids. You took that as your cue to leave, getting up so you can spend some time alone in your room too. They let you go without problem, so you made your way up the stairs. You let out a sigh once you stepped into your room. It was just as sweltering in there as it was in the living room, possibly even a little warmer. You couldn't even open your window since it was hotter outside, and you just let out the AC. Is that what that said? Basically, you just let the AC out. Okay, I can read. You dragged your feet as you crossed the room. You checked your current sweltering condition in the mirror as you passed by it. You thought back to the conversation you'd had downstairs about growing up and all that. After a moment, you stepped a bit closer to the mirror. You stared into it, then turned away from the surface to look down at yourself. You were definitely growing, all right. It was weird to think about how you were now, in comparison to what you'd been when you were younger. When it came to your body, it was gaining some muscle definition nowadays. It was chubby, was slender, was heavy set, was sort of scrawny. I definitely am not Googling one of those words. I definitely I am definitely not Googling words. Does this happen in every step? Do you get to like mention a thing? Hold up. Versus, sorry, I'm just like looking things up to make sure I know what is being said and the image that is being painted. I don't know. In all honesty, I wouldn't say, I keep saying he's not very athletic. I wouldn't say that he's scrawny or anything though. That's not what okay, wait. But what? I'm looking at people compare some of these terms. I don't know. Like, the thing is that I have a vague image in my head of what all my characters look like. And it's like hard to say because I also don't know how to label things. Let's see. Well, if he's going surfing enough, the surfing builds muscle, right? Does surfing, I can spell good. You can't see how good I spell. And that's so great. And that is so great. Okay, well, I think that'll probably be fine. This person on Quora says that it builds muscle in your shoulders, arms, and back. And that's more solidly what I was thinking of. Anyway. Oh, some of these people, like, sorry, I saw an image of a surfer and I was like, oh, well, it'll never be that muscular at all. But you know, it's fine. I see some. Yeah, okay, I can carry on now. I'm just gonna click this one after doing all that research. I apologize. You couldn't even see the screen, but that's probably for the best because sometimes I feel silly when I have to look things up. And now you don't know what exactly I looked up. Well, you don't know what exactly I was a little confused about. You shifted to the side, your head still facing forward and continuing the self-evaluation from this point. At birth you were assigned female, and at birth you were assigned male, and you were born intersex, and okay, yeah, Ty's just your chest was only flat. Chest was flat, but you thought about it being different. Chest was flat by birth, but you aimed to have breasts through hormone therapy. Okay. Okay, so this is the tricky part with Ty. Ty's very unsure. And I guess this will be spoiler, but it's not actually flat out written in anything yet, because it wouldn't be in the first part of the story. It would be in if I did more of the story, more gone over. But so, in my story, Ty's sister is trans, and she's like transitioning, it's his younger sister too. She's like transitioning, in the first part of the story. Like, she's already started transitioning, and it's just like more of a little bit like in that process. But, and Ty's very supportive and helpful and all that stuff, like, yeah. But he does also start to get a little bit, is the word envious? I think the word is envious, because she gets to wear all the cute girly clothing. And when he was a kid, he was told before that he couldn't wear that clothing because he's a boy and not a girl. So that's like a minor thing, but like he does like feminine clothing and more things that are considered more feminine, but he's not like had a problem with being a guy in general. So he's like figuring that out, where he falls, if he needs a label and all that stuff. So I guess with all that said, I'll click on the middle one, cause like, you know, comparison. He's also something that like at least get across the mind at least once. Yeah. There you go, a little lore drop on Ty. Which is part of the reason I'm going to play around. Well, no, I don't even know how to finish my sentence anymore. Okay, we're moving forward. You tried to imagine what it'd be like. Maybe someday you'd make that change. You reached over and massaged your scar with one hand, staring intently at it in the mirror. By now, you knew that it was there to stay. You took a step backwards, finished with your impromptu inspection. Your eyes locked with your reflection, cocking your head to the side, all things considered. You thought you looked fantastic. You didn't look too bad. You had no idea how to feel. You were simply neutral. You were self-conscious. You just wanted to look different than you did. I don't think he's self-conscious or anything. I think I'll go with he didn't look too bad. A slight smile tugged at your mouth. Sure, maybe you wouldn't be a model or anything, but you weren't half bad. The want to go back and like go over what other people might say. Like, I think Paisley and Ryan are definitely the first one. They're like, yeah, I look great. I'm fantastic. I think Leilani is probably like neutral. No, I haven't even been considering Frankie in any of these options. Frankie's a mess. I guess it's harder to consider Frankie because Frankie is a mess because his parents are who they are. And in this game, it's like such loving, caring, supportive, always there for your parents. But also Frankie has like probably like a full development of change to where he gets to his messy point. Because I think it was better as a kid. So one day maybe I'll do that. Anyways, I read that. You shook your head roughly, putting thoughts of what you were turning into out of your mind. This wasn't the time to focus on such things. You had to find something to do in this heat. You shuffled over to your bed, collapsing onto the mattress, your brow scrunched up in thought. Time passed slowly, and to your annoyance, possible ideas about what to do were few and far between. You weren't sure how long it had been, but eventually you heard your mom call you from downstairs. Ty, there's a call for you. Cove wants to come over. Is that all right? You perked up at the words, sitting up in bed. You yelled back to her immediately. Yeah, I can't voices. Sorry. I want to make my voices sound different so there's no confusion as to who's talking when I read. It'd probably be helpful if I had actually remembered to bring my water. You got to your feet and headed downstairs, eager to see your friend. You needed to go downstairs soon anyway, because your empty stomach told you it was almost time for lunch. Just as you reached the bottom of the stairs, you saw Mom put the phone back on the receiver. She glanced at Ma, leaning her hip against the kitchen counter.
What a pickle.
Well, here comes trouble. We better prepare ourselves. Ma clicked her tongue in clear disapproval of Mom's words. He's such a good boy. Cove never wants to cause trouble. He can just be a bit thoughtless and impulsive. Oh, I know. He's very sweet, but that's what makes it more of a problem. If a stranger or some kid from school was egging Ty on to behave badly, I think we can agree that he'd do the right thing in the end. But if Cove Holden got into a reckless mood and wanted Ty to be part of the ride, can we really be certain of what call he'd make then?
Yes.
Yes, I think so. Ty helps Cove settle down. He would have gotten himself in even more trouble without him.
Thanks.
You have a point. Ma just laughed. As she turned away, still snorting, her eyes met yours. She blinked in surprise, then waved at you with an easy grin. Mom looked over, noticing you at the foot of the stairs as well.
Oh.
I didn't expect you to come down already, Ty. I just wanted to let you know what was happening. Oh, what would Ty say? It's different when it's a parent. It's different when it's a parent. Do I need that save? That's probably fine. I probably don't need that save. And if I really want to change the answer there, I can just open up this save, finish up this one, and then come back here if I ever wanted to change something here. What's Ty gonna do? Oh, did I even read them? You pretended you didn't overhear their conversation. You called Mom out on her comment. Ty's very good at pretending he doesn't know things. But he also doesn't like when people say bad things about his friend. Okay. Well, I've given myself permission to rewind if I don't like an answer. I've said it a couple times, even if I haven't actually ended up doing that. But I'm just gonna flip a coin just in case. Let's see which option the coin thinks I should do. I didn't answer my question properly. I was thinking of two questions at the same time. So let me do this again. I'm gonna close my flip a coin window and reopen it with a fresh coin. Okay, so let's see. Oh right, I can't see the thing anymore because okay, what was I doing? Oh right. Should I choose the bottom option? Let's do that. Even though it'd probably just be easier to be like, which one should I choose? Oh, it says I should choose the bottom option. Okay, but again, if I don't like it, I'm rewinding and I'm putting that out there on the table because it's hard to say. This playing this as a character is really helpful because it's telling me what I have very clearly understood about my character and what I need to focus on more about my character. Yeah. Because I really don't know how Ty talks to his parents that much. Like, he's had some conversations with his mom. But I don't think I've written any of his conversations with his dad out. But also there's been no, like, form of conflict in the conversations they have had. Okay, we'll try. Well, he's good at pretending he doesn't know things. But what does this option do? There's some options that I'm like, what does it do? But also, she did already I know the coin said I should. Well, the first coin might have said I shouldn't, but I don't really know because I was asking two different questions at the same time. Okay, I'll try it, but I guarantee that there's a good chance I will rewind. Okay, let's think about my other characters. I think Paisley, Miles, this is actually a good. Oh my gosh, I gotta think about this question for all my characters now. I don't know. Well, Ryan doesn't like having arguments with his mom, so he probably would not say anything because it also was somewhat resolved. Sometimes very chill. Okay, I'm gonna click on it, but if it comes off in not Thai way, I'll rewind. That's what I'll do, I think. Maybe. Well, if I hadn't come down now, then I wouldn't have heard everything you said.
Pam.
Yeah, that was a pretty chill way to say it. Good job, Ty. You've made me stay here so far. Ooh, you got caught, Pam.
What?
You were saying those things too. I didn't say anything I wouldn't have told to Ty directly. Oh, you're unbelievable. You shook your head at your parents, even as you thought of Lush and you remembered what they'd just been discussing. Okay. See, my comprehension skills are slow. Yeah, see, it was resolved. But I think I did choose the right answer. Now he's like going back and forth over simple things again. It's a simple thing. But yeah. All right, you got me. I'm sorry for being gossipy and saying that about your friend. I can be bad too. Okay, see, yep, see, there.
Let's go.
Okay. I understand what I read. I understand things very good. We'll get out of your way now. Mom sighed in mock defeat and made her way down the hall. Ma followed after her with a hushed giggle. Now you are alone in the living room, tasked with waiting for Cove. And that was just fine with you. If it hadn't been so hot outside, you would have visited him at his house a long time ago. You took a seat at the kitchen counter and settled in for the wait. Yeah, there was two parts. Sorry, I'm still like, I get stuck on things. I'm like, yeah, there was two parts to the conversation. So I hyper focused on one part of it, but there was two parts of it, and that's the thing. I don't know. As expected, there was a knock on the door a few minutes later. When you got up and answered it, your neighbor was standing on the other side. He came in once you stepped aside to let him pass, giving a little wave. You greeted him as you typically did. Ty is very much a nudger, I think. I think so is Miles, so maybe that's a little bit me mixing them up. I know I mentioned that Ty's kind of a hugger, but I don't think that's like a greeting thing. Did I read these? Or did I just start talking about them again? I am so sorry. With a wave, with a low five, with a nudge to the shoulder, with a noogie, with a hug. See, so like, okay, I'm gonna have to see person specific. But a nudge to the shoulder, Cove's taller than him, so is it like with the nudge with the fist, like a light tap to the shoulder with your fist? Because that might be it. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna imagine it. They can't tell me otherwise. I mean, they'll probably describe it in a second, but I think it'll be this one. Yeah. You reached over and nudged his shoulder. Cove rocked to the side a bit and rolled his eyes, but he was smiling. Cove sighed and wiped at his face a bit. You noticed the sheen of sweat across his brow. He must be glad to be back in an air-conditioned place, even if he only had to walk across the street to get there. Is something going on? Why'd you want to come over? I don't want to do anything, not when it's like this. He gestured vaguely to the humid air hanging around.
So,
I thought I could at least do nothing with you. You thought that was really sweet. How'd you know I was doing nothing? Maybe I had plans. You nodded. That made sense to you. I was thinking the exact same thing. Okay, it's definitely gonna be one of these things. Like I said, Ty's kind of jokester and likes to give his friends a little bit of a hard time sometimes, for no real reason for them than like their friends. That was okay. Yeah, that was okay. Ty's kind of a teaser, so I think the way that it was, the last conversation was pretty in character. Right, I gotta make a decision. Okay. See, this is why I'm playing this game as a character and not just playing the game and choosing things, because if I had to choose without direction, I would get stuck on probably every option. Because that's just who I am. Okay, if this goes okay, I'll stay with it. I think I'm gonna click on this one. How'd you know I was doing nothing? Maybe I had plans because Ty's a little bit jokey, but I don't know if it'll be coming off as mean. I don't want it to come off as mean. But also Ty is a little bit, I don't want it to come off as like, see, that's the thing about the nuance of having of some character sometimes. It's like, yes, the character is a little mean. However, he means it endearingly. He's mean politely. We'll try it. I didn't, so I called. Your mom told me you were free. He got you there. So much for teasing him. Alright, see, I overthink everything. Have you had lunch yet? I was gonna do it soon. Did I read that weirdly? I think I did read that weirdly. He shook his head.
Not really.
I haven't really felt like eating because of the heat. I probably should have lunch. I didn't have breakfast this morning. Yeah, I get like that sometimes too. You should really eat properly. You didn't eat at all? Then you gotta have something now. Great, we can eat lunch together. Yeah, I'll probably go with this one. Paisley's one of these two. Paisley's one of these two because that's the kind of person she is. She, like, will actively, if she sees people actively not eating enough, she'll get upset with them because she's like, you gotta take care of yourself. Yeah, she's a very, you gotta take care of yourself. So I think if it was Paisley, it'd probably be this one. But I don't think Ty is super scolding, you know. So I don't think scolding is just the word I could think of for it. But like, he doesn't try to impose too much. Anyways, I'm gonna click on this one. Great, we can have lunch together. Cove nodded, looking content with your suggestion. Okay, cool. As you headed into the kitchen, you crossed your arms as you glanced around, wondering what you should scrounge up for a meal. I don't want to eat anything that's warmed up. Is there something cold or not cooked? Yeah. After a bit of back and forth, the two of you concluded that you should raid the fridge and cabinet in order to make sandwiches. With that settled, you had planned to decide on the outside layers first. There was a variety to choose from, since everyone in your house had their own favorites. There was white bread, wheat bread, sourdough, mixed grains, gluten-free bread, and pita pockets.
Hey.
Could you take the grain one for me? Sure. You reached for the mixed grains, then made your decision. Wait, it doesn't say the wheat bread. Right? It said here there was wheat bread. It's probably the cinnamon swirl bread. So our options are a lettuce wrap, cinnamon swirl bread, white bread, gluten-free bread, sourdough, the pita pockets, mixed grains. And I've only really considered that Miles for sure eats non-gluten bread, but that's because his mom has a wheat allergy. So this one would probably be the one that Miles would choose, but I don't know if Miles actually has a wheat allergy, but he tends to stay away from wheat because his mom has a wheat allergy. I think Miles is lactose intolerant though. Yeah. Anyways, I don't really know much about bread, to be honest. Like, I know what these breads look like, but I don't know what they taste like. And I'll never know what they taste like because I recently have developed a wheat allergy. I know what that bread is, what it tastes like. I might know what sourdough is, but we'll just also do the mixed grains bread, or is that too copycatty? But I know what mixed grain bread looks like, and it feels like something I should have tried at some point, but I don't. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I tapped the mic. Oop, I tapped it again. I tapped the mic, and that's why I said shoot, because I was like, I forgot the mic was right there. And you wanted mixed grains as well, so you just set that onto the counter. Then you have to decide what main ingredient the sandwich would go in. You want it to make a sweeter style of sandwich. You want it to make a truly savory style of sandwich. I don't remember what this option does, but I remember thinking I should definitely choose the savory style sandwich, which is probably what Ty would choose anyway. I know, I did look a little bit at the thing, but like, I don't remember anything. Because again, I did a deep dive on this, on how these options work. Something savory would make it feel like a real meal. As for the specific ingredients, I know these all do something, but I don't know what they all do. And I know the last one you choose is the one that like affects it the most. All right, so we'll have, I'm trying to think of like a sandwich my sisters might make. We'll do a little lettuce, and then we'll do we'll do an avocado. Thanks. Sure, you can have some red onion. It's fine. Shrek likes onions, so Ty can like onions too. Oh, I left my own jokes. Okay, the meat and then the cheese and the meat. We'll add pepper. Oh wait, that's not, see, I'm thinking of pepper as in like salt and pepper, but peppers as in like peppers. Well, sure, I'll still put them on there, why not? Oh, but then I feel like I can't have the cheese right after that, so it's gotta be, I'm really considering how the sandwich is made, but then the cheese would be right below the bread, and that's not good either. Okay, onion, cheese, turkey slices, pepper, and then move on to condiments. Anything touches you, intend to top your sandwich with salt and pepper. Hot sauce? Oh, I didn't read all the options. I didn't read all the options on the last one either. I apologize. There are sandwich ingredients. It was ham slices, turkey slices, different vegetables, and yeah, cheese. Okay. Hot sauce. I don't know what all those flavors would taste like together. Lettuce, red onion, peppers. Peppers might already be a little spicy. Hot sauce. Yeah. We'll just leave it at the salt and pepper. But this is mustard, mayonnaise, pesto, hot sauce, ranch. My sisters eat mayonnaise, but I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about anything. You nodded to yourself with a quiet hum, satisfied. The two of you bustled around the kitchen, opening and closing things in order to collect everything you needed for your individual sandwiches. You focused intently on assembling your own, for the most part. When you were close to being done, though, you glanced over at your neighbor. Cove was putting his sandwich together delicately, his brow furrowed and tongue sticking out just barely. There were open jars of peanut butter and honey near his plate, as well as a banana peel. So he was making a peanut butter, banana, and honey sandwich on mixed grain bread. That sounded great. You didn't think much of that. It seemed weird. Yeah, I don't see... Ty's definitely either one of these, because Ty, I don't think he's that judgy. Yeah, I will say that sounded great, though. I think it goes between these two, but I think I could see Ty liking that kind of sandwich. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because my brain is like going to another place of this show called The Investigators, where a couple of the characters like I think it was peanut butter and salmon sandwiches. I think that's what it was. So it's like the one character had made it, and then another character hearing about it was like, that's disgusting. And a different character ate it and was like, oh, this is really good. So now it's like they have different opinions on that. Maybe you'd have one yourself a different time. Curiosity satiated, you turned back to your plate and finished your own creation. By the time you were done, Cove had already cleaned up his workstation. He turned to face you, studying your sandwich briefly. A small smile tugged at the corners of his mouth. You guessed it didn't look inedible to him, at least. Done? Yeah.
Cool.
Ah! I accidentally scrolled.
Cool.
He waited as you quickly returned the ingredients and cleaned a few utensils. Then the two of you collected your respective plates. You both agreed on heading upstairs and to hang out in your room. I wonder what would happen if you guys made the same sandwich. You know? Like, what's the reaction there? Like, oh, hey. You and Cove entered your bedroom while balancing your food on the plates. Nothing fell, so it was a successful trip. Cove took a seat on the ground, stretching out on the hardwood floor in an attempt to keep a bit cooler. He immediately took a big bite of his sandwich, chewed, then hummed happily. The sandwich is really good, at least that's something. At this point, you sat down and started on your own sandwich. You nodded. You were enjoying yours too. You shrugged. It was okay. You scrunched up your face. This did not turn out as expected. I think Ty is eating a sandwich he's made before. I think, yeah. Obviously, you were a pro at making sandwiches. He leaned back on his hands while chewing and glanced around. His every movement was sluggish. I want to do something? It seemed the plan of not doing anything at all had already worn thin, despite his lack of enthusiasm. Yeah. Like what? Maybe. Not really. You couldn't even muster a reply. So yeah. He rolled his head back, looking up at the ceiling. What about Hangman? Hangman, that's the one with the words, right? Right? That's the game. That is what that game is called, right? Hangman? That's the game where you have a word and then you draw the pictures, and if the people guess the wrong letters. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I couldn't remember that was the name of the game. He laughed at the suggestion, but went along with it. Yeah, neither of you had much energy for something more taxing. You grudgingly humored it. You thought it was a nice idea. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? I'm trying to remember if you play two games or not, because I also don't remember this. I don't know if it's just about the choices, but I thought they played tic-tac-toe. Again, I remember bits and pieces about this game, and sometimes I don't remember them until they start. Oh, there's the snorkeling stuff. Sorry, I was looking over at the wall. I don't know if you can see where my mouse is. Like right next to this brown cape, there's this thing right here, and I was like, what is that? It's a mask and a snorkel. Did I get really loud for a second? I feel like I got really loud for a second. Like I heard myself loud for a second. Anyway. See, I make everything take longer than it needs to. You put your plate to the side and pulled out some markers and scrap paper. As you laid everything on the floor, he scooted back to make more room in front of you. Cove picked up one of the markers with his right hand while keeping a half slice of sandwich in his left.
That's,
Can I pick the phrase? Go ahead, I don't mind. He smiled briefly before he bent over the paper and began sketching the hangman frame. Then he stopped, pursing his lips in thought. He tapped the end of his marker against his cheek. You watched silently as Cove looked down at the paper, up at your face, and then off to the side in a loop. His marker kept tapping his cheek the entire time. You raised an eyebrow. He'd suggested the game and wanted to pick the phrase, but it looked like he didn't actually have anything in mind for it. Finally, he put empty lines on the paper to signify spots for letters. Alright, you can start guessing. Okay, let's see. You peered over. His secret phrase consisted of 3 words. The first 2 had 3 letters, and the last had 4. Huh. 3 letters. What are some 3 letter words? The, dog, box, fox. I'm trying to remember some 3 letter words, guys. You thought hard about what your first guess would be. Enter a lone letter of the alphabet. Okay. So whenever I play Hangman, you always got to start with the vowels because that gives you a lot. Because every word, does every word have a vowel? Are there any words without vowels? I'm pretty sure every word has a vowel. And while I feel like I should probably choose A, I feel like I should go with E first. Watch me be super wrong. Let's see E. Oh, okay. That tells me something. That tells me a little bit. So 3 letter words with E include the, include R, include she, includes. After the first round, you were about to take another bite of your sandwich when a thought occurred to you. I wonder if anyone turned off the TV downstairs. The TV, it was on earlier, but no one was really watching, and then everyone started leaving the living room. I know I didn't turn it off. It might still be on downstairs with no one there. Cove smiled crookedly at that.
Oh.
Poor show, playing with no one around to enjoy it. What was it? You squinted off into the middle distance, trying to recall the show's name. I feel like it was some kind of crime-solving drama. Cove nodded sleepily. His eyes closed, then opened again with some effort. Can you give any specifics? Maybe I can guess it. Well, you rested your chin on your open palm, groggily thinking as hard as you could. I remember there was a woman with long blonde hair, I think. She was the one solving crimes, like as a detective or something. There were these scenes in a police station because someone got arrested. You laughed in silence, the both of you thoughtful. Then Cove chuckled. It wasn't that funny, but you joined in the laughter anyway.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is. Me neither. I just saw it. Okay, so let's see. Another letter. Should I go with A now? I don't know. Okay, what are some words that end with E? Those are either going to have an A or an O in them, right? Okay, let's do O. I know I should do A, but good guess. Okay. Another round came and went, and Cove grumbled as he readjusted himself. His features were twisted in a grimace. I feel so sticky. I'm gonna be stuck to this floor forever now. I'll have to charge you rent then. You can be my new roomie if you want. Looks like we'll both be stuck here forever then. I'm sticky too. No way, I'll peel you off if I have to. He just smiled at his whining. I'll have to charge you rent then. Looks like we'll both be stuck here forever. I don't remember what this option does. I don't know if this is a personality option. I don't know. These both feel kind of jokey. Well, they're all kind of jokey, you know. So that makes it harder automatically. Let's try this one. Yeah, how much? $50.
What?
I can't afford that. Well, you've got to pay if you want to stick around. Cove shook his head at your terrible pun and went back to the game instead of answering further. Then you returned to the game. Okay. Words. I know. We gotta go through the alphabet. You gotta go through the vowels first. There's gotta be another vowel in that word, right? Ooh, sorry. I forgot my screen's touch screen and I panicked when I touched the screen. I should have used the mouse. There's gotta be another vowel in this word. And it's not like it's E because it's not there. But the E's at the end. So the E has to make another word, another letter, do the thing. See, I'm using logic. It's funny because I'm working so hard on this because, like, I'm not thinking quite, what would Ty think next? But I do think I'm still a little bit in character for Ty because Ty's actually decent at English stuff because that's his only honors class. At least in my story. Anyway, so I'm either gonna do A or T because I'm staring at this word here, right? And I can only think of the and R. And then this one, I feel like A would be here. So if I put A in, it's either gonna give me 2 letters or just 1. This one, I can only right now think of, well, actually there's a lot of words that have, but what words would start with, what phrase would start with a word like that besides for? For the time? Doesn't make sense. Or does it? For the, oh great, I'm gonna do T. No, I always do vowels first because there's another vowel missing. I forgot I was a vowel. I forgot I was a word, was a letter. That's why you do the vowels in order. Should I do I? Okay. We'll do T. No, I. I have so many chances. We haven't gotten one wrong yet. So let me be legit here. I haven't actually seen the Hangman game. I could have sworn they played. No, sorry. I'm gonna start adding a little person. Cove spoke up once more, catching your attention. He was peering down at the piece of paper between you, his expression thoughtful. You know, Hangman is kind of a creepy game. Why did people come up with it? Why did they play it? Maybe it's what they had instead of real court trials back then. I've always wondered about that. I'll have to look it up later. It's a really old game. No one's sure where that name came from. That one's really silly. But, I think Ty's gonna have to. Maybe I'll do that too. That said, the two of you turned your attention back to the game. Okay, so there was no I, so we're gonna go A. Yep, that's right. By this point, Cove had finished his sandwich. Yours was almost gone too, but now you were getting thirsty. You brought it up to your neighbor. Should we go downstairs to get some drinks? I was thinking that too, but I don't really want to get up. Me neither. You looked over at him, narrowing your eyes with false suspicion. But hey, what happened to you not being able to get up ever again because you were stuck to the floor? Still true. I mean, we're not actually going, are we? I only thought about it. You rolled your eyes and dropped the issue defeated. Cove grinned a little at your disappointment over his victory. Okay. I'm gonna do R. Well, should I do T? Because, okay, so this can be 8 or it can be R. I have no idea if this isn't an I and this isn't an O and this isn't an A. Was it a U? It's not. Oh, it's not done. Dime. No. Okay, we'll do R. We'll do R. That's another one. I have no idea. If you know, you know. But I do not know. Okay. Okay, well, what's the other? I haven't done you yet. You are. You're really close. Oh, I think I know what it is now. Ah. Yeah. Wow. Sometimes all you need is one more letter and you know exactly what it is. And I'm like, ah. You're definitely gonna get it. You are cute. That was the phrase that Cove had spent so long settling on. You stared at it. A few correct letters in, you had a feeling you knew what the phrase was. Still, you felt butterflies in your stomach at seeing it. Clear as day, on the paper. You took in the words for a moment longer. Then you looked up at Cove. He had trouble meeting your shocked gaze, a smile settling awkwardly on his lips. His next words left him in a mumble.
I mean...
It was all I could think of at the time. You covered your face bashfully. You gave him a playful shove, still in disbelief. You stayed where you were, unable to move. You fell backwards onto the floor from your sitting position. You wrapped your arms around him. Okay. I think Ty is gonna be one of these things because I think Ty is a physically interactive person. And I think he's gonna go for the shove because still in disbelief. Yeah, I think. Sorry, I gotta mention other characters. I think Miles would probably be like one of those two. And of all the options here, I think Ryan would have to be this one. And so, there we go. Yeah. You leaned over and gave him a slight shove, a puff of laughter leaving you. You didn't say anything. No, you're cute. Thank you. I can't believe you. Dang, Cove. You just let out a small squeak. This is Ty we're talking about. See, it sucks when you narrow it down to 3 things, because then you can't just flip a coin and the coin chooses one. It's not unlike Ty, but I think Ty. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I think Ty says it more, would say it in more joking, teasing ways to be. Well, this could be teasing. Well, to cover it. I think it's gonna be. Okay. If I assume that, like, for the other ones, right, they'll have the same follow-up one. So like you have an action, and then you do one of these things. You have something to say. I would say Ryan would probably say this one, and Miles would do this one. That's just how he is. So I guess we'll go this one. Cove ducked his head at your cursing, clearly still feeling awkward about the move he pulled. He turned away from you, his cheeks tinted pink. A moment passed between the two of you. Now would be the perfect time to change the subject, but you didn't. He didn't either. Things started feeling a bit more personal all of a sudden. You looked into Cove's ocean eyes. I can't help it. I hear it in my head. You will hear it too. And saw yourself staring back. Yeah, look at that. I hadn't even been saving the options, and now I have. Did I read these? Sorry. I really think you're cute, seriously. Did you mean it? Do you really think I'm cute? You didn't say anything. Wow, Ty was too good at that hangman game, because if he had guessed all the wrong letters in the first place, then they wouldn't have had this conversation. I mean, you only have to get 5 letters wrong. Yeah, because head, body, arms, and legs. It's 5. That's 6. I can count. Okay, so the verse in Thai is he's gonna do one of these 2 things. The person that he is. Because, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. So Thai is not like super direct. I didn't actually ask a question. Hold up, sorry, I flipped a coin and then I realized I didn't actually ask a question. Okay. I guess I'll just do since I have it narrowed down to 2. Middle choice, bottom choice. The coin says the middle one. But I don't know, I'm too nervy. I'll do. But I think Ty would at some point say that to someone. Like, I can see him saying it. It's moving too quickly. I know. I just did the coin, but I don't know. I guess that means I should choose this one, but it's 'cause like there's such a mood here. Okay. I'll just. Cove didn't crack a smile or tell you he was joking. He just firmly kept his gaze. Yeah. Finally, he broke the eye contact. I've heard at some point you're supposed to start liking types of people, guys or girls or whatever, or whoever.
I don't know.
I haven't really noticed that yet. Nothing's changed. Not in a big way. Not for everybody. Maybe I have to grow up more, but at least with... You waited, but he trailed off. He wasn't going to keep talking. You frowned, a little disappointed. You wished he had continued with what he was saying. You shook off the strangeness of the situation and tried to be supportive. Maybe you just don't like anybody. Or maybe you like all types of people. That's normal too. Cove seemed to appreciate that thought, if the smile that appeared on his lips was any indication. The expression was quick to disappear. He peered over at you, looking nervous. Okay, what about you? What kind of guy or person do you like? He winced and seemed to be mentally kicking himself for saying it like that. You considered his question carefully. Did you know who or what you liked? Oh, this game is so detailed. You were starting to have physical attraction in a general way. You only seem to feel physical attraction in specific cases and situations. You don't really have a physical interest in other people. You didn't think you could tell if you had an interest in people physically. There was only one person you'd ever had those kinds of feelings for. Character building. On the spot character building. I don't know. Okay. Well, I feel like I feel like for Ty, it's probably one of these two. I know that honestly, probably for Miles and Ryan, it's probably more likely to be this one. Miles might possibly be this one, but for Ty, I know. I kind of don't talk as much about my female characters as much because there's less romances happening with them. like Paisley's bi. I can talk about Paisley here. She doesn't have a relationship in the main story, so less comes to a head. Then this is like, let's see, 13. When did Paisley first have a crush? I don't know, cause okay, look, listen. Ryan canonically started dating in like 6th grade. Miles didn't, but he's had feelings. He's I know, physical attraction, and probably next is the romantic attraction question, I think, which is slightly different. I think I'll go this one, I guess. I think, sorry, this is a side rail. I think like not all my characters, but like there's more likely than not my characters probably lean into the Arrow and Ace section, possibly, for not all of them clearly, but for a decent number of them. I think that is very, very plausible. I feel like oh, did I read these? It's the same things. It's like you're starting to have romantic attraction in a general way, in specific cases and situations. You didn't think you could tell if you had an interest in people romantically. There's only one person you had or you'd ever had romantic feelings for. I think Ty is a very sometimes type of person when it comes to this, if that makes sense. You know, and honestly, probably Kia too. So, yeah. I'm gonna click this one, the specific cases situations. Yeah, I feel like that's the most accurate, unless I went with this one. But I think I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah. There's more. But specifically when it came to how you felt towards boys, you found them attractive. You thought you'd be happy to be with a guy someday. You found them attractive, but you hadn't thought about being with a guy. You weren't, oh my gosh. I don't even know how I messed up the word. I feel like I read it right, and did I react like I read it wrong? But I actually don't know because I can't rewind. Anyways, you weren't physically interested, but you'd be happy to have a romantic relationship with a guy. You weren't generally interested in guys, but there were special occasions. It's the exceptions. Which would probably be Kia. Kia is one of these two, I think. And that's the hard part. because that's why I didn't play as Kia. Because I don't even know if Kia would be having this conversation. Because I don't know if Kia would, like, I said sometimes for Ty. I think Kia's even less sometimes. And then, like, this question wouldn't even be a question for Sabrina. No. For Ty, well, I don't fully, I know I just said this might be one of the ones for Kia, but I also don't fully comprehend it. You know what I mean? Because, I think I might have to click this one, but I don't want to, like, what do I mean? They're already mutually liking each other. It's totally fine. I'll save here. Because the thing is, I don't think Ty thinks about it. You know, I don't think it's something he thinks about. So, okay, well, click on this one. There'll probably be another question, right? Well, let me see. And how you felt towards girls. I feel like it's because I can't figure out if the last person, but Ty hasn't really like dated, and that's the thing. Cause like I can look at Ryan's dating history and be like, yeah, I can answer all these questions so easily. I guess I should have played as Ryan. This questionnaire would go a lot faster. Both of these would have been the top one for Ryan. Anyway, for Miles, it's at this point this one. I don't. But wait. I didn't realize that I was gonna go through a whole questionnaire. I can't even. Okay. Flipping a coin. I forgot. When in doubt, flip a coin. When in doubt, flip a coin. I know which question I'm asking. Okay, coin says to do this one. Coin says to do this one. And based on how the conversation goes, I might backtrack and change not this answer, but the one before it. This is so detailed. Wow. Yeah, because, okay, so the thing is, I don't know if Ty's last flirtationship, I guess I'll say it, because I don't think he's officially dated, but I think he's like been in the sphere, sort of, and I don't know yet who they were. Yeah, maybe I'll go with this one. Okay, it was the same things, but it was like, yeah. And again, for Ryan, it would have been probably the top option. Because Ryan, and I don't mean in like the worst way. Like I said, Ryan loves love, and like, he thinks he'd be happy with whoever he marries, because whoever he marries, they'll be happily in love. You know, so of course he's considered all the avenues, or at least, you know, like, considered all the avenues. I don't know how to word it, because it's not like, I just think that, like, because Ryan is someone who gets a lot of like crushes. I know I'm talking about Ryan, we're supposed to be talking about Ty. It's okay, just give me a second. Ryan, basically, when he falls hard, so he's probably envisioned marriage with every person he's fallen for when he like falls. And in middle school, he does date in 6th grade a girl, in 7th grade a boy, and 8th grade someone who's non-binary. So he's Ryan. He loves love. He just loves love. Yeah. He loves love, guys. He loves love, and he can fall pretty easily. Yeah. You turn your attention to Cove. He was waiting patiently for your response. We'll see how this answer goes, and then we'll decide if I answered them correctly or not. Well, he asked. It says you explained how you felt to Cove. I'd rather not talk about it. Yeah, Ty can explain. It's fair. He listened intently, taking in every word as you tried to convey how you felt. Definitely perked up a bit when you mentioned having some interest in romantic relationships. Then he scratched the back of his head, sheepish. I'm not really sure how we ended up talking about all this when we started out just playing hangman. But I think it was good, I think. I think so too. You shrugged. It was awkward. The conversation had a mind of its own. You just nodded quietly. I think so too. Cove chuckled a little bashfully. He glanced around, clearly scrambling for something else to say. So, have you gotten to go to the beach recently? Yeah, actually, I'm really glad you brought it up. The conversation took a lighter turn after that, and it felt like you got closer that afternoon. We did it. I spent like probably half an hour alone on that questionnaire. But you know, it's important stuff. It's important stuff. Finally, the blazing sun began to set. To your relief, the air cooled down a bit as a result. You pulled yourself off the floor, as did Cove, with some minor complaint. You both stretched your arms, groaning, and yawned into your hands. You glanced out your window briefly, taking in the soft reds, pinks, and purples of the late afternoon. Somehow, you had made it through the scorching hot day in one piece. Oh, is there a way to take this picture off? No, right? I think I was right about which pants he's wearing. So, I maybe can't trust the customizer completely. Cove turned towards you, motioning towards your window with his chin. Want to go outside? It might be better out there than it is in here now. Sounds good. I could really use some fresh air. The two of you took your time heading downstairs. You stopped briefly to grab a drink of water, then continued on your way. You stepped outside one after the other, your destination being the familiar hills behind your house. This time of day, it was quiet outside. The flowers blew gently in the wind, petals trembling but stubbornly hanging in there. You felt the breeze cool your heated skin, and you relaxed your shoulders. Cove closed his eyes, releasing a deep breath. I really love it out here. I do too. You do? That's surprising, you said jokingly. See, sometimes they have those little, is that called a moniker? I think that's called a moniker, right? Sometimes they have little monikers. I spell good. No, it's not. According to Oxford Languages, a moniker is a name. What do you call a little tag? A tagline? I don't know. Well, anyways, point is, sometimes they have them. Your opinion sure has changed since you were first on this hill. You quietly enjoyed the moment. Like I said, Ty's a jokester. Ty likes giving people a little bit of a hard time, but as a joke, because he adores his friends and giving them a hard time. Cove chuckled a bit, nodding. Tendrils of his hair danced with the wind. A beat passed, but his gaze didn't stray from your own. His voice was impossibly soft when he spoke up again.
Ty.
I'm glad I met you. You're really important to me, you know? You blushed at the statement. I feel the same. That's so nice of you to say. You smiled silently. You're being too sweet. You're special to me. Cove. I didn't say his name. It's right there. I think Ty's gonna say I feel the same. It's like very similar to this one, but like different. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. But you know, like the same vibe, different energies maybe. But anyways, I'm gonna go this one. Your voice came out equally delicate. From the way his features brightened though, you knew he heard you. Then Cove reached over and held your hand without another word. Even as the sun disappeared completely and the sky darkened, you and Cove remained side by side for as long as you possibly could. There we go, guys. I did 2 and I made them take 5 ever. So I will wrap up here. And then next time, okay, so I thought I knew what family is. But I'm torn between 2 things. And they could be the same thing, but they also could not be, because they're very different scenes that I'm thinking of. So I'll say this. One is your cousin remember this in step 2, it mentioned that your cousin plans on coming over sometime to hang out. So it could be when that happens, but it also could be when more information about your family, your household, your moms and your sister have a talk. But I don't know if they're the same event or not. So that's what family either is. And then, so dinner is the scene, is where the other chance to tell Cove what happened is. And I don't know, maybe I should do it. Maybe I should go ahead and let him know on that front. Maybe. I don't know yet. Does Ty feel the need to tell? I guess that's what I'll have to sit with. I have a week to decide. Does this one and this one instead. Because you could do these in any order. So maybe instead, if I haven't decided yet, I'll just do these two, and then the next time I'll decide. But the steps are pretty long, so I should try to get all 3 done next time, huh? I'll try to go faster and not take so long making decisions. But yeah, this is like wild, because it's like very much, you should try playing it as your OC if you have OCs. I know people tend to be like, oh yeah, my character this, my character that. So maybe that's how everyone plays it, but like you should really just pull like one of your characters and play through the game and see how your character would respond to these situations. I think it's cool. Right, so then my schedule is a little bit up in the air right now. It'll be intended to stay the same, but I don't know for sure, Z. Oh, you're right. I should save. Thanks, game. I know, there's no reason to not save right here, but I didn't. Anyway. Nope, wrong button. Yeah, I thought so. So there's... Oh, man. There's so many. I only have 3 left, so I must have missed the one from that one, right? Is that it? Did I miss one already? This one was from Waves. Was there one in Growing? What was left? Oh, wait, there's 4. There's 4. So maybe there was one in Growing and I didn't get it. Or maybe... there's one in the other ones and then one in the ending. I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't know what the CGs all are. But yeah. The replayability of trying to figure out how to... I think I figured out what this one is. I think there's a CG for when you tell him, if you tell him as a kid. So I'll probably have to play as Leilani for that to happen. Or would Paisley do it? I don't know. But if I want to stay in character. I don't know about everyone. But the Leilani I know for sure would tell him in step 1. I still have to decide if Ty's gonna tell him or not. That's the hard part. Oof. Okay. Cause I know there's a I'm pretty sure I heard there was a CG for that too. But yeah. Right, so Thursday I should in theory be back. Not 9 a.m. Central Time. Like I was doing, but probably if it's 9 a.m. Well, if I stick in Central Time, it'll probably be more like 11 a.m. Central Time then. Probably. Yeah. Anyway, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I should be back. I should be finishing up Taylor Tells. And if I do before Saturday, I guess I have a couple of options. I can either try another game. I have a demo for a game that I downloaded because I was curious. It's about actors. I think it's called Canvas Menage. I can't words. Don't ask. Don't words. Let me see. Canvas Menagerie, and that one is about an actor, and there's a specific love interest in that one, I think. But I also have other games like this game called Menage-a-Trois, and I could just play Our Cinderella. I have played Our Cinderella before, but I only played it once. I went through one route. Alternatively, I can actually try to figure out what a mobile stream would be like. You know, like and actually try to play Identity V on like either my tablet or my phone. I have to log into my tablet if I want to do it on my tablet because I'm not sure my phone can handle it, like streaming and playing a game. Well, anyways, that's besides the point. We'll figure it out when we get there. Right now, Thursday will be more Taylor Tells. I do still have to upload the Taylor Tells video from Friday, as well as I got to upload this one now. So that's 2 videos to upload, hopefully before Thursday. But we'll see. Anyways, thanks again. I'll be back with beginnings and always on Monday. I'm having a lot of fun. I I really enjoy all the options, even though they stress me out. It's a good time, and it's great to be able to do it in character. It makes it a better time. Oh, it's okay. It's too late. Oh, okay. I've talked about it now. I just wanted to mention when I was talking about playing the Hangman game in character. It's funny because part of the reason I thought about it was because in Now and Forever, you get to play rock paper scissors if you choose certain options. Obviously, in my playthrough, as you guys saw, I did not play rock paper scissors. But I've been playing my live playthrough. I've been playing it separately too because I'm obsessed. But sorry. I forgot. Right. But I was playing as Miles when I was playing at that time, and I got to the rock paper scissors, and I really like logicked it out. Like, okay, if Miles is playing rock paper scissors, what's the first thing he's gonna play? And if he plays that, what's gonna feel the most comfortable for him to play next? And if he plays that, then what? But I was thinking real hard with that Hangman. It is only partially in character. But I think Ty would do the vows first anyway. But it had almost all the vowels in there. Actually, yeah, it had every vowel in there except for I. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Yeah. So that was his first downfall of getting caught. Okay. I'm starting to make silly jokes and laugh at myself again. So we will just wrap up. Oh, shoot. I always forget about that. If you want, you can check out my VODs playlist where I put everything I've played. But I also just have game-specific ones. Like, if you just want to see my pack, this is games. There's ones for that. There's a playlist for that. If you wanted to see my Our Life Now Forever playthrough, where I played as Kia, and you can learn about my character Kia instead, that's also something you can do. Or you can just check out the whole VODs playlist. Let me see. I will give you the link to my VODs playlist, as I do, because I need to get a quicker link. I always have to go through the thing. So anyways, my VODs are here. So you can also click I have a YouTube link on my page. So there's my VODs. And then if you want it to, I'll do a Now and Forever one. Because, why not? Where is it? Yeah, because I mentioned it the most today, I think. So you can also go check out my Now and Forever playthrough, where I played as my OC Kia. And, yeah, I played as Kia for the demo. It's just a demo right now, but they are gonna expand the demo a bit later on in fall. I guess we're technically getting to fall in either October or November, and I am so excited for it, and I will be continuing my playthrough when I come around to that. So here's my little playlist for my Now and Forever playthrough. And yeah, so I should really start prepping that a different way sooner so it's easier. But yeah, there we go. Thank you again for watching, especially if you watched this part, because this is just me rambling at this point. But yeah, so thanks again for coming along. I hope you are enjoying Beginnings and Always. I am enjoying Beginnings and Always. And next week we will be back and we will be doing some more moments. We will be doing moment family. All right. Thanks again. Bye.